All right, so good evening, Karen. How are you? Is everything okay?
Good evening, teacher. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. And you?
Great. That's great to know, Karen. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. So let's begin with the class, Karen. I'm going to start by showing the calendar to see, well, some details, right? Because you know that this week we also have one more holiday, so we need to take that into account. The good thing, well, actually, good thing, bad thing, it's only the conversation. Of course, the conversations are important, but it means that we can continue working with these classes that are the longer ones, all right? Here we're only missing 15 minutes. It's important, but remember that those two holidays are being replaced here, right? So today I have to assign, and actually the second quiz was already assigned, right? You have until today to finish this, to take the quiz. Perhaps you already took it, and also until today to finish the assignments for the second unit, right? So if that's clear, then unit 2 is done. Do you have any questions about unit 2? Because we finished everything for that unit, Gary.
No, but I have a question about the Pearson.
Yes, tell me, what's your question?
I tried to do the first lesson, but I can't. I don't know why, but the website only showed me the lesson A2, but I would like to do A1
All
again.
right, that's weird. Let's try to do something. Are you on your computer? Can you share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, try to go to Pearson, please. I want to see what's happening. I want to guide you. If I find what's happening, I'm going to let you know. But it's weird because as I told you, and I'm going to show you now. All right, I'm going to show you something. Please try to log in. Go to Pearson. Very good. So,
Okay, so
all right, good. So you should be able to practice whatever you want because as I told you, that goes to your practice score. Good, let's go there. Good. And over there, right? Go to Module A.
here
It's
or
the one
here?
on the left, that one. And you should be able to open A1, right? And open any of those, vocabulary, for example. And open that one, any of those. Yes, it can be that one. Yes, as you can see, you practice, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
everything is available for you. Remember just that one. Perhaps you were looking for the unit in
I
assignment, right?
yes, I'm
But
looking.
no, remember in assignments, you're only going to see what I assigned for you. But
Okay.
in course, you can practice whatever you want, but be careful, right? If you complete something in course, it's only going to be practice. If you want to be evaluated, what I assigned, you have to complete that first on the assignment section. And then if you want to practice something extra, you can practice in this section that I showed you.
Okay. Okay.
All right, good. Do you have any more questions? Perhaps that helps.
No, everything's okay.
Okay, good. Today is the last day again, one more time, right? To complete assignments for Unit 2 and the quiz for Unit 2. Were you able to finish everything? Are you still missing something, Karen?
I finished everything.
Okay, very good. Great. Thank you very much. So it means that we are good. All right, it means that we're good. It means that also I can assign now Unit 3. It should start here, Wednesday, but I'm going to assign that now so that you can start today if you want. All right, but it's going to be until the day it's supposed to be here. So it's going to be today that I'm going to assign it. You're going to have the whole week and until next week, Tuesday. Right, you have until that day to finish everything, Karen. It's a lot of days, okay? 5, 7 weekdays and 2 days of the weekends. All right, we have 9 days in total to work with Unit 3. All right, so let me do that now. In case, again, you have questions, you can let me know. So Unit 3 is now available for you. Everything that has this I here, Karen, it means that you can see it and you can practice. All right, so you can practice Unit 1, Unit 2, and now Unit 3. But now you have to be careful because Unit 3 is going to be evaluated. All right, but from tomorrow, starting tomorrow, you can practice Unit 2 one more time, the times that you want. All right, good. So Unit 3, everything except for quizzes, right? So this I is going to be hidden. It means that you cannot see the quizzes for Unit 3. But everything else, it's possible to see that one. So everything good starting now? Yes. And it's going to be until Tuesday next week, the 21st. All right, so we have a lot of days yet. Let's take advantage of that time. No, sorry, it's going to be the 28th. Sorry. Okay, good. So until Tuesday the 28th, 11:59 p.m., 2 attempts as always, and with a model. That's it. All right, so Unit 3 is already done for you. And that's it. When we get to the time, I'm going to assign quiz number 3. But so far, only the assignments. All right. So with this, I'm going to close Pearson. I don't know if you have any other questions before going to the lesson.
No.
All right. Good. So it's done. That is done. This one as well, the calendar, everything clear. Now, as we are starting Unit 3, this is the new document that we are going to use. Karen, the link is in the chat. We're going to write examples and other details over there. Now, also, if I'm not wrong, we still have one more page. I'm not sure. Let me check to practice the verbs. That's something I want to do before we can go to the next part. We have 4 pages. I think we practiced 3. So if we're missing one more, we're going to do it now. Okay, so let me see the last one. All right, yes, so we didn't practice these verbs. We did? No, we didn't.
Yes.
Trace salt required. So let's read this. This is the last practice with me. And afterwards, you have to practice, as I told you, by yourself, so that you're sure that you know these verbs, guys. Let's start, as always, by reading until 85. Those verbs to start with, please.
Okay. To remember, to loved, to consider, considerate, to appear, appeared, to buy, to vote, to wait, to served, to die, died, to sent, to expect,
Thank you very much. Only these details, Karen. Again, everything in general is very good. You inverted something with this. This one is as appear, right? Appear was very good. It has R before ed. It means we don't say et, right? Only to. So it was good. Appear, appeared, right? It was great. But it happens the same in consider, right? We have a D here, but it doesn't affect, right? The D has to be here. You have an R. All right, it's always the consonant, right? So here is only considered, right? So let's repeat, please, this conjugation, 78.
To considered.
Good, thank you very much. This one, the same, but you have a T, right? So here it has to be clear the et. It means it's going to be weighted, all right? Weighted, exactly. So it's going to be weighted. Let's read that one, please.
To weighted.
Good. It happens the same in number 85. How would it be, Karen?
Expected.
Very good. Let's read the conjugations, please. It is very good.
To expect, expected, expected.
Very good. All right. So that's it. That's it. All right. So just take a look at the last word or last consonant before ed. If it's any consonant, but it's not D or T, it means it's only going to be t, right? But if it's D or T, only in those cases is going to be et, right? Et or it. Good. That's it. I don't know if you have any questions about these words, Karen.
The meaning of the verb appear is when something show or when you see something or else.
In both cases, look, appear refers to a physical aspect and appear refers to when something shows up. It's similar to seem. Remember the meaning of seem? You seem to be angry, right? Because you're, so I say, you seem to be angry. So that's to appear as well, all right? So appear again, it appears, all right? It appears that this is the right decision, all right? It appears, it seems, all right? It seems, it appears. But also, appear is, again, physical appearance, right? What is the appearance? The physical aspect. All right, so again, it's like parecer or something similar to something else. All right, it appears to be the best decision. All right, or the appearance of something, but that's it. When you use it like that, that's the only meaning for appear, Karen. I don't know if you have more questions about that word or other words.
To serve.
Good. Serve can be literally as you use in Spanish, right? I'm going to serve the food or the drinks, right? To serve something, to give something that is prepared, all right? Or it can also mean to function, but in a very specific case, all right? When you say, for example, there's one song, I don't know if you heard that song or you listened to that song. It says, if my memory serves me right, okay? If my memory serves me right, it means if my memory works correctly, if my memory functions correctly, okay? If something serves you well or right, it means that it works, that it functions good, all right? So functioning or giving something, right? The most common, again, serve food or serve the drinks. What else?
No, only this.
All right, good. So we were on 85. We're going to continue. It's a lot of words. Now let's divide also in some of those. It's going to be until 95, please, Karen. Let's read those words.
Okay. To build, to stay, state, to fall, fallen, to good, to reach, to kill, killed, to remain, to suggest, suggested, to raise, raised, to pass, past.
Thank you very much, Karen. Great. Only everything was good. This is not a mistake, but you were not sure, right? So what you did is correct. Let's reinforce that one. So it's to fall, fell, fallen, right? To fall, fell, fallen. Let's repeat that one, please.
To fall, fell, fallen.
Fallen. Great. Okay, you did it in that way. It was correct, but again, you were a little bit doubtful, all right? You were with doubts. What about these words? I don't have any more observations, Karen. I want to know if you have questions about these words.
To fail is when you Mm, uh, can explain. For example, when you are walking and suddenly you are in the flow.
Great, that's a great explanation. Yes, it depends because this word is mainly used as a phrasal verb. Okay, if you say fall down, yes, that's the case, right? I fell down. It means that you tripped. Tripped means tropezar, okay? Trip. Like viaje, right? Like viaje, it's the same word, trip. Okay, trip means viaje and trip means tropezar, all right? When you are running and you trip on a stone, you trip on a rock, you trip on something and you fall down, right? Or you fall simply, right? Good. But also to fall in something or fall in love, right? That's something different, right? To fall in, it means that you sometimes believe something, all right, when you fall in, but you believe that something is true and sometimes it's not true, all right? So I fell in those words, all right, that you believe that it was true, but it was not. Or the common expression, right, to fall in love, right? In that case, of course, it's not physical, but it's when you really love someone, all right? When you start feeling something for someone, all right? So it depends on the expression, but mainly it's going to be that one, right? And also fall down refers when you are up, all right? When you are up, when you are on something and you fall from that elevated place, all right? But that's the idea. For example, if you climb a tree, right? Climb, the word is in the chat, right? And I know that you know that word, climb. If you climb the tree, you can fall down, right? That's it. What else? Any more questions about that word or any other words?
To reach.
To reach, that's interesting. And that's actually, it doesn't have a lot of meanings. To reach is to be able to achieve something, all right? For example, if you want to be a doctor, you can reach your goals, all right? You can achieve your goals. You can obtain what you want, all right? And physically speaking, to reach something is when you can physically touch that object, right? If you have, for example, a closet, right? If you have a closet and you have something up there in your closet, if you can reach the object, all right, on the closet, it means that you can touch the object. Okay, so it's literally to touch something that is not close to you or to accomplish something, all right, to achieve something. That's to reach. And sometimes they use reach for contact, all right? If you can reach me, it means if you can contact me, all right? If you can call me, if you can be in contact with me, all right? I was not able to reach you. It means I was not able to contact you. I was calling you and I couldn't reach you. Okay, it means I couldn't contact you. I couldn't be in touch with you. All right, but that's a different meaning. Then the main one, accomplish or touch something. Okay, to be able to touch something or to grab something. What else, Gary?
To remain.
All right. Remain is used as a very interesting, sorry, what were the words? This one until this one. Remains means the rests of something, right? So for example, if you say it remains there, it means what's left of something, okay? What is left? For example, if you eat, right? If you eat food, if you don't eat all your food, you have remains in your plate, right? So that's what remains. There are some food that remains there. Also, you can say something that remains, it's something that it's kept in your mind or in your thoughts, right? For example, something that remains could be a memory, right? A memory of someone that you loved, a memory of something that you wanted. Okay, so you have the remains of that object or that person or that thing. All right, that's remain. What
Okay.
else?
And the last one is to raise. I think
Raise. Good. The most common one to raise is to lift something, right? To raise something is to lift something. For example, if you have questions, raise your hand, right? Raise your hand. That is to raise. And the other meaning is to live. When someone, more than live, is when someone takes care of you when you are a child, right? For example, you can say, I was raised in the United States. It means that you grew up in the United States, that someone took care of you in the United States when you were a child. All right, so those are the two best meanings in Karen. All right, to lift something, a part of your body, for example, your hand, or to grow up in a certain place or in a certain city because someone is taking care of you in that period of time. All right, so that's it. And again, it can be that you are born, you can say, for example, this, all right? I was born in the United States, but I was raised in Bolivia. Then I came back to the United States. Okay, so you can be born in a country, you can be raised in another country, and then you can come back to another country or go to a different one. All right, that's the idea. I don't know if you have more questions about those words or if you have any other comments. Let me know, please.
No, everything.
Okay. All right, great. So let's finish reading the last part, please, Karen. That is this one over here. It was until reach. Yeah, no, kill, even raise. Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, pass even, right? You have it. So 96 from that one, sorry.
Okay. To sell salt, to require, required, to reported, to decide, decide, to put.
Okay, good. Only this one, right? Remember, as this is D, then it's going to be decided.
Decided. Okay.
Right? Because it's with D, right? So let's repeat this one first, please, Karen. Decide, decided.
To decide, decided.
Very good, right? So this one was good. Report, reported, right? You can sometimes change the T, sorry, to a D, right? In American English, at least they do that. So it's not obligatory, but you can say instead of reported, which is good, you can say reported, right? Reported, like with D, but that's optional, okay? And that's only for American English, all right? And this word is going to be close, but that I is more like I, so it's going to be require. All right, require. Let's repeat that one, please.
To require, require, no, require.
Required.
Okay, and required.
Okay, there you go. Very good. That's it. Okay, that's it. So, and this one more time, it was pull, right, with that L, a very like circled L. All right, so pull, pulled.
To pull, pulled.
Great. Okay, that's it. Again, I have no more observations. I don't know if you have any questions about those words.
To require.
Okay, to require is to have a petition. Okay, to have a petition. For example, I require that you send me your documents. Okay, it's a requirement, right? A requirement. All right, so to require is the verb. So the institution requires the students to present the ID to enter the building, right? The embassy, right? The US embassy requires the people who want to go to the US to present certain paperwork, right? Or documentation. That is to require. All right. Any other questions or words?
No.
All right. So with that, we are finishing with the 100 verbs here, Karen. It means that, of course, we're not going to memorize everything now. And I know that you know these verbs, but now also you are even sure or more sure about the meaning of those words. But practice, all right? You don't have to memorize everything, but try to get at least the most important verbs that you can use in your daily life or for your profession or for you have planned for English so that you are better prepared when using these words. But that's it with me. Again, you have the link. I'm sending the link just in case one more time. All right, that is in the chat. Of course, that's only one list, and you have a lot of lists of verbs on the web, right? So you can take a look at those lists. But again, start little by little and try to add more and more verbs and more words and try to use those words to practice. That's the idea, to increase and to extend your vocabulary. But that's it. Now we can go to the lesson, but I want to know if you have any questions or comments before going to our lesson, Karen.
No. What did you?
Okay, good. So we work with future. We work with this one, yes, and this one as well. One more time, let me check. I'm going to verify because we worked with a lot of things and we finished most of them. Yes, it's going to be this one actually, ability. Yeah, and we're going to go back to this one. Okay, very good. Ability. Let's practice these models. If you remember, we have models, right? What models do you remember, Karen, that we were learning or reviewing?
Should this.
Good. Should is one.
How to have better. Have better. Could.
Could. Correct.
I can.
Uh-huh.
Más o más.
What do you say for obligation? What something is imperative, an obligation?
I say would. I think so.
Would actually would be more like a condition, right? Remember, and would is for preference sometimes, right? Preference when you like to.
Yeah.
It starts with an M. Okay, M.
Mine? No. There are insecurities. Mine in might, in might. No.
Okay, may and might. Good, but that's not obligation, right? That's a possibility, right? Or when you're not sure. Good. May and might. Must. Very good. Great. Okay, those were the most important ones. Can, could, may, must, should, ought to, right? So if you know those ones, also you know would and will, right? All of those are models. So here, ability. You know ability, and you mentioned two. The other one is not a model, but what models do we use for ability, for present ability, and for past ability? You already mentioned those words, Karen.
In the past, could.
Could, correct, right? Could has two meanings, right? Could is possibility, and could is the past of can, right? Can be used in present and future, all right? But can is present. It can be used for future, but what is the future of can? What do you say? Can is present, the past of can is could, but what is the future form of could?
No. Wait, I don't know.
All right, don't worry. Actually, there's no future form of can, all right? But there's one way to say can in the future, and that's what we're going to learn. is with the expression be able to. All right, be able to. You can use be able to in present. You can use be able to in past. But the only way to say can in future is with be able to in future. All right, so let's read this. Let's get into the lesson, Karen. Let's read this information, please.
Teacher, can you give me 1 minute?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Karen.
Okay.
Very good. So let's read now this one, please.
Okay. We use can, could, and be able to talk about ability.
Good. Right. So is these three: can, present, could, past, and be able to. All right. But be able to doesn't have a tense. Be able to can be present, past, future, simple present, present continuous, future continuous, present perfect. Okay, be able to can be any tense that you want, but is the only form of ability that you can use for future. All right, can, could, be able to. We know most of them. That's why we're not going to write a lot of things, but would be able to, we're going to practice. You know the formulas, right? Karen, it means that with all models, we always use the base verb, right? That's the only thing that we have to remember. With all models, always the base verb. It means can plus base verb, could plus base verb, be able to plus base verb, right? All of them are going to be with the base form of the verb. So, can. Here we're only going to be speaking examples, but let's read this one first, please, Gary.
We use can for present and a specific future ability. I can play a piano every day. It doesn't change. I can travel next weekend, only next weekend.
Good, thank you very much. So can, as I told you, it's also for future, but it's not exactly future, but you can use it. This is interesting. You can use can for everyday actions that you can do every day. And you can use can for things that you can only do one time, right? For example, if I ask you, Karen, what is one ability that you have? What is something that you can do every day and it never changes? It can be anything, right? It can be something that you do today, and if you do it tomorrow, you also can do it tomorrow.
Okay. I can play the guitar.
Okay, very good. Great. Right? So usually playing an instrument is something that you don't forget unless you stop practicing for years, right? But good, you can play the guitar. What is something that you can do only one time in the future?
I can I can go to my friend's birthday party.
Yes, and that's correct. Anything that you are able to do because you have the possibilities, right? So it's very good. Affirmative, both cases, things that you can do every day or that you can do for only one time. Now, let's go to negative. What is something that you cannot do, Karen, but you wish that you could? Something that you cannot do, but you wish. What is that? And something that you can do every day, right? But again, that you cannot.
I can't play tennis.
All right, that is correct, right? That's an activity that you learn and you should be able to do anytime that you want. Good. What is something that you cannot do, anytime in the future?
Oh, uh, I I can. I don't know if it's okay, but I can go to school.
Okay, yes. If it's only once, in that case, if you're telling me about future, you tell me that because you have other things to do, you cannot go to the school that specific day. All right. Or you can
Oh,
also tell me that in a daily basis, you cannot go to school, but you have to tell me something that you cannot do because you don't have the permission to do it or because it's prohibited for you. All right. Mostly it's that's the idea. All right. If you say again, I can't go to school, it means, for example, first can be that you always go to school, but you cannot because you are sick and they are not going to let you in because of the COVID. All right. That's one thing, one possibility that you can say, I cannot go to school. Or again, you can say you cannot go to school because you have other activities and that's why you cannot go. All right. I don't know if one of those applies to you in that example, Ken.
mm, okay. I can't take vacations yet.
Okay, that is good. Usually you can take vacations. It takes some time, but it's good. Great. So that is easy. Let's go to good. Let's read this example, please, Karen. Good.
We use could for past ability with a specific past time expressions. I could play the piano when I was a child. I didn't practice, so I forgot how to play it. He could jump higher. 2 years ago, he gained some weight, so he can jump that high.
Exactly, right? So if this is high, then this is higher, right? Let's
Hi-
repeat that word, please. Higher,
Higher.
higher. Good, right? So high, alto, higher, it means comparative. Good. So that being the case, Karen, could means can in past, right? This is past ability. I could play the piano when I was a child, but I cannot do it anymore because I didn't practice. He could jump higher, all right, very high, 2 years ago, but now he gained some weight because he ate a lot and he didn't exercise, so he cannot jump that high. So let's say the same. What are two things that you could do in the past? Got it. Anything can be something that you repeated every day or something that you could do when you were younger or when you were a child or some years ago or some months ago that now you cannot.
I could travel. I could travel to Brazil a few months ago.
Okay, good. So is that something that you could do in the past, but you cannot do now, right? That's more or less the idea. Usually when you say you could, it means that it was an ability for you or a possibility for you in the past, but it's something that you cannot do because of a certain reason. All right. What else? What else is something that you could do? I'm going to give you, for example, right, one extra example. You can say, when I was younger, I could go out whenever I want, but now I cannot because I have a lot of responsibilities, you can say,
Mhm.
right? So again, something that you could do, but now you cannot because something changed. So what is one more thing that you could do before?
Mm, okay. Yes, when I was a teenager, eh, I could play. Uh, mm, how can I say volleyball? Volleyball.
Yeah, actually, that's an English word, right? So it's the same as volleyball, volleyball. The same.
Okay, I could play volleyball.
Volleyball. Good. Right. So great, right? It means that now, because of certain reasons, it can be time, it can be any other reasons, you cannot do it. Perhaps you can do it, but not in the same way that you did it before, or not as often as you did it before, right? So it's very good. Now, the opposite. What are two things that you couldn't do before, but now you can? What do you say?
I could I couldn't drive a car, and now I can.
Now you can. Good. So how long ago? How long ago were you not able or you couldn't drive a car?
When I was 15, I couldn't drive a car.
Very
And
good. You were continuing, Karen?
no,
No? Okay, good. So that's correct. One more, please. One more thing that you couldn't do and now you can.
uh, mm, mm, uh, um, when I was a child, I couldn't cook. uh, uh, how can I say huevo frito? French. Uh,
Fried eggs. Fried eggs.
now I can.
Now you can. Good. Great. That is correct. Great. All right. Very good. And just in case, sorry, I forgot, right? I had to tell you. Remember that word that I didn't know? That's actually the same. Remember, Anit? It like it's in the chat, and the pronunciation is the same. All right, Anit.
Okay.
Good. So great. So that's good. All right. So it means can, present, future ability, things that you can do every day or you can do in the future, something specific. Could, things that you could or couldn't do when you were younger, many years ago, or even months ago. But now usually you can say that you can, or the opposite, that you cannot. That's good. We know that. All right. We know that. That's why it's only speaking. But now we're going to write examples with this. Be able to. This is new. All right. So be able to, again, it's not a model, but it's an expression or a phrase that you can use to talk about ability. And it's the only way to conjugate can in future. All right. It's impossible. There's a mistake. All right. Some people, when they say, what is the future of can? They say, I will can, right? To say podré, right? How do you say podré then? Karen, what do you say? How do you say podré in English?
Be able to.
Good. And if you had to be able to means only poder. But how can you conjugate that in future? The answer is here. Look, only
I
read this part.
I will be able to.
Exactly. Correct. Okay, so it's incorrect to say I will can. All right, many people want to say that, but it's not possible. All right, because you never mix two models. Okay, you can never mix two models in one sentence. It's only one model. So be able to. Let's read this information, please, Karen. Everything, please.
We use be able to for past, present, not very common, and future ability. The verb to be has to be conjugated in each tense. It was able to play the piano when I was a child. I am able to read a book in English. I will be able to travel to Europe next year. The negative form is with not after the verb to be or after will in the future.
Great. Thank you very much. On this word, please, Karen, it's going to be you, like Europe.
Europe.
Europe. Great. Very good. Thank you. So be able to. Past, I was able to. If you want to say this, Karen, I'm going to use Spanish to tell you the idea and you tell me in English. How do you say ellos podían salir ya a fiestas cuando eran más jóvenes? How do you say that in English? But you have to use this structure, be able to.
They were able to go to parties when they were younger.
Younger, correct. Very good. Very good. So if it's I, he, she, it, you say was, right? If it's we, you, they, you say were, right? You know that rule. The verb to be also in present depends on the subject, right? He was able to read a book in English. She was able to read something in English. With will, it doesn't matter, right? The conjugation with will doesn't change. I will, he will, they will. Only be careful in past and in present because you have to conjugate the verb to be according to the subject. All right, so that's it. It means that the most important part here is this one. All right, again, as you can see here, it's not very common to use this in present. All right, and sometimes in past it's possible under certain conditions. But here we're going to try to write examples, Karen, to practice. The most important part is future. But let's do the following, please. You have the document, right? The link is in the chat. We're going to have again the 5 minutes that we always have, Karen. And you're going to write one paragraph that is going to be divided in 3 parts. Okay, but no, actually only one paragraph. But you have to do 3 things in that paragraph. You're going to tell me things that you were able to do. All right, in the past. You're going to tell me things that you were able to do when you in the past. You're going to tell me things that you are able to do now in the present, and things that you will be able to do in the future. At least 2 ideas. All right, but I'm asking a paragraph and not separated sentences, Karen, because I want you to use the connectors that we know. All right, you can use and, comma, and, right? To start the idea, you can use first or to begin with or to start with. All right, try to use the connectors that you remember to connect all those minimum 6 ideas. Minimum 2 things that you were able to do, 2 things that you are able to do, and 2 things that you will be able to do. All right, let me know please if you have any questions before going to that exercise.
I need to connect the 3.
Yes, please try to connect everything into one paragraph. Only one paragraph, all right? But again, it's not going to be only one big sentence. Of course, there are going to be different sentences, independent sentences, but try to connect them with the right punctuation mark, all right? Let's just review a little bit of those rules by writing something for you and with you now, right? So you can start, for example, like this. And here, right? This is the document. So you can start with an expression to start something. I'm going to give you 3, right? So you can say to start with, you can say, right, to comment, the same, or you can say first. All right, first. Let's say, okay, you can say first, firstly, first of all, it doesn't matter. And then after that, you need always a complete sentence. A complete idea, sorry, not sentence. Okay, so that's one structure. It means that, sorry, it means that you can use that, all right, to start the idea. Then if you want to continue something, after that, you can say, for example, start with blah, 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 right? Also, comma, right, and complete idea, period. Or you can say, additionally, right, comma, and complete idea. Or you can say, this is different, but you can start using these words, okay? Furthermore, that it's the same. It means to add information. Additionally, also, it's the same. If you want to show contrast, for example, you can say, I was able to play the piano when I was 6 years old. However, right? However, you know that one, right? Contrast, however. Other ways to say however, nonetheless, right? Nonetheless, sorry. And on the other hand, it's not like contrast if you use it by itself, but it gives the idea that it's different. And finally, okay, I'm going to add one more thing. You can say that one. Finally, all right, and complete idea. Or you can say something like, thus, it means as a result, okay, like consequence. It's not always a good thing to to finish one idea, but it's as a consequence and to conclude. All right, and after to conclude, as you can see, I always use commas, right? To start with comma, also comma, however, comma, nonetheless, comma, additionally, comma. And before, you can use period, Karen, or at least semicolon in all of them, period or semicolon, all right? After the complete idea and before the other word. But if you use comma here, it's going to be incorrect. If you say to start with complete idea, comma, also, comma, complete idea, period, it's incorrect. All right, it has to be period or semicolon. So that's it. And you know the other one, I'm finishing with this one, all right? The fanboys, right? You remember the fanboys, so you can also use that structure. Complete idea, comma, any of the fanboys, right? I'm going to use the most common one, and complete idea, and period. All right, so that's the way in which you can connect always your paragraph. All right, so it means 6 complete ideas, 2 in past, 2 in present, 2 in future, all of them with be able to. Again, perhaps you're going to have some corrections from Google because it's not going to be good to use it, but here it's only to practice. All right, now, any questions before starting? Let me know, please.
No.
Okay, let's do it, please. We're going to have 6 minutes, all right, so that we have 1 minute per idea and we check. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a look at what you got. We're going to work together in case something is missing, all right? Let's start reading what you got, please, Karen, everything that you got. And we're going to try to finish if we need something, but if not, everything is perfect. Let's do it, please.
Okay. First, when I was a child, I was not able to cook right. I always burned it. On the other hand, at the same age, I was able to cook. I don't remember how can I write or say fideo.
Sorry, Karen. Yes, noodles with double O.
Ah,
Try to write that one, please. No,
no.
noodles.
Ah, I like this. No, no. Nice. Teacher, I can hear you.
Sorry, one more time. Yes, I was telling you, right? Sometimes it sounds like O, right? For example, comfortable, right? Or preferable. But if it sounds like O or O, it's always going to be LE. All right, LE. So in this case, noodles. Okay, good. Great.
No,
So noodles. Let's
no.
continue, please.
Now I am able to cook rice and many other things, but I am not able to cook rice like my mom. Also, I will be able to cook rice like my mom, like my mother, but I need some practice. Finally, I will be able to be a good. I don't know if it's okay. Cooker is like a cocinero. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, that's the only exception, all right? Usually you say, right, work, worker, develop, developer, right? You usually use the ER, but this is an exception, all right? You only say cook. Cook also means cocinero, all right? It's
Okay.
the verb, but it's also the person that cooks, all right? A cook. You're not going to say a cooker, all
Okay.
right? It's one of the exceptions, all right? Good. I think it's very good. I'm going to give you suggestions for words, okay? Only suggestions and some corrections for punctuation, but everything in general is very good. All right, so let me do it. First, great, comma. When I was a child, when is at the beginning, all right? When, because, while, when those words are at the beginning of the idea, the second part always goes after a comma. Okay, so it's like another clause. This is the one clause, and this is the next part of the clause. All right, dependent clause, independent clause. All right, but when is in the middle, you don't need comma. For example, you can say this guy. First, I was not able to cook rice when I was a child. No commas. Okay, no commas. But when is at the beginning, you say, when I was able, oh sorry, when I was a child, comma, I was not able to cook rice. All right. Now, this is one complete idea. And here you only use comma because this is a clause, okay? Because you have when. When, and this is the next part of your idea. But all of this is one complete idea. After one complete idea, you need always period or semicolon. All right? Period or semicolon. A comma is not going to be that good. All right? So semicolon, I always burned then periods, right? On the other hand, then you're showing me contrast or something different. I think it's good. On the other hand, comma, at the same age, this is not the subject, right? So you can say this at the end. You have options here. The same, it also happens with this. If you realize when is time, right? Time. If you remember the correct order in English of the sentence is subject, verb, object, place, time. Right? Subject, verb, object, place, time. If you
Mm,
follow that order, you don't need commas, right? But if you change the order, you need commas. So on the other hand, comma, at the same age, comma, because that's time, I was able to cook noodles, right? Or you can say, on the other hand, I was able to cook noodles at the same age with no commas, right? Now, comma, good, I'm able to cook rice and many other things, comma, but I'm not able to cook rice like my mom. Okay, good, very good. Also, right, I will, if this is also, right, if you say also, it's not bad, but here in this part, if you analyze, you're telling me what you can do now. So if you say also, I expect that you are still going to tell me something that you can do now, right? But you're not going to tell me something in the present. You are going to tell me something in the past. Oh, sorry, in the future, right? In the future. So instead of also, that again, I didn't tell you the exact ways to use that, but try to use something else. Also, it's more related to the previous idea. I would recommend something that changed the topic or something that mentions the future. So instead of also, I recommend to use a time expression like this. And you can say like in 5 years or next year, okay? Try to use better a future expression, all right? Just to be clear and just to make clear also that also is not another person idea. So I'm going to change that one to next year or any time expression that is future. All right, next year I will be able to cook rice like my mother, but I need some practice. Good. And finally, I will be able to be a good cook. That's it. Those are my recommendations, observations. Everything in general is good. But I want to know if you have questions about those commas and those details, Gary. Let me know, please.
No, but I think that I need to use verb subject and
Yeah, and not always. Look, even in writing, when you're going to be in A13, all right, I give that course as well sometimes. There's a rule, all right? There's a rule in writing, in academic writing. When the sentence is too long, okay, you can have sentences without commas, without anything, that are 3 lines, okay? There are very complex sentences. When that's the case, they recommend to use the information, the important information, at the beginning with a comma, all right? That's to create more connection with the subject, all right? So instead of saying a very long sentence with time at the end, it's better to say first the time and then the sentence, okay? So it depends. It's not that this is incorrect. It depends on the idea and it depends on how clear your idea is. If your idea is clear in this way, it's perfect, okay? I'm not telling you that it's bad. I'm just saying that you can avoid that comma by writing in the other way, but sometimes this is the best option, all right? Sometimes this is the best option. Just that one, Karen. Everything, again, is very good. Just practicing those commas and it's going to be more than enough. Okay, I don't know if you have questions or doubts or comments. Let me know, please.
it was okay if I only use the verb of cook. I don't know if I use more than one.
You mean the verb cook?
Yes,
Use it many times?
I only use the verb cook in my paragraph. I don't know
Good.
if I need to use more than one.
Yes, you look, I'm not analyzing that one, but if you analyze one thing that you try to avoid in formal writing is repetition, right? So yes, it would be a good idea to have synonyms. For example, instead of cook, you can say prepare or you can say make, right? So be able to make rice or to prepare, all right? So those are two possibilities instead of using cook, okay? Make, prepare. Of course, yes, it's always advisable to have synonyms instead of the same word. Sometimes it's not possible, all right? So if you repeat 2, 3 times in a long essay, no problem. But in the same paragraph, yes, it's important to have one, okay? I'm not marking those details here, but what you're saying is correct, all right? If you use different words, it's better.
Okay.
Okay, good, great.
Mhm.
And actually, I'm going to show you that one. Now that you, and I know that you have the level and everything, and look, actually, the lesson is done. So what I want to do is showing you something. For example, this is A13. All right, this is the advanced. This course is only for writing and reading. And I don't know if you're going to get to this course in the future. I don't know how much you're going to be in the program, okay, how much time. But if you get to this one, and not in this program, any program, right, advanced writing or reading, you're going to see things like the ones I'm going to show you now. I don't know if the parameters are here. For example, here we're also covering the fanboys, right? Those details, punctuation rules, how to use comma, semicolon, everything in detail, all right? But for advanced writing. If it's not here, I'm going to look it now. It's something very simple. It's an example, all right? It's an example of an essay. And I'm going to show you that to write an essay, this is the one. I know, new works and link. No, I'm going to show you here. Give me 1 second. It's going to be over here. It's the structure of an argumentative essay here. Okay, this is one thing. For example, to write an argumentative essay, you need everything here, and it's a step by step. All right, the first sentence has to be this. It can be 1 or 2 sentences. The second sentence has to be this. All right, it's background. For example, the first idea has to be a catchy sentence. The second idea has to be background, all right, or context. The next one has to be the thesis statement. It means what's your main idea in the essay. Okay, this is very useful for the TOEFL, for many other international tests. Then you have 2 body paragraphs, and the 2 body paragraphs always have this structure. First, the topic sentence, what this sentence is going to be about, then extra information about that topic sentence, 1 or 2 paragraphs, then real source. You need to work with citations, all right, according to the BBC, comma, and you paraphrase or you copy and paste information with quotation marks, right? Real information in quotation marks, then last name, year, right, in parentheses. Then you have to explain that, right, the meaning of that quotation, of that quote, and then you give the conclusion of the paragraph, right? The same for body paragraph number 2 and this conclusion, all right? So that's why we need to connect those ideas like that little by little, because first, this is the main structure. And then after that main structure, that's also something I'm going to show you that you're going to see later on. You have these tips to improve your writing skills. And this is related to these steps, right? For example, the use of active voice or passive voice, the literal or concrete language, all right? How to use metaphors or not to use metaphors, to be concise. This is what you were asking. Sometimes you use this at the beginning, right? Or in the correct order. I will be applying to the University of Pennsylvania in the fall. Or in the fall, comma, I will be applying to the University of Pennsylvania. And here they tell you, if this is clear, then it's okay. But if the main information is too far away from the subject, it's better to use this structure, the second structure, all right, with the comma, because everything has to be clear. And all the main information, for example, in the fall, in this case, has to be next to I will be applying, because this is the main idea. All right, so again, it depends. And again, those details and also repetition and everything that you were mentioning, for example, you don't have to use abbreviations or contractions in formal writing, right? You never do that. For example, one abbreviation can be gym, right, instead of gymnasium, or contractions. You don't say don't or can't, right? It's informal and you don't say that. Repetition, this is what you were telling me, right? Instead of important, you can say vital, you can say crucial, you can say essential, right? Many other words. Also, everything should be in positive form, okay? Affirmative. Negative is informal. So instead of negative, I'm not going to show you that now, but you have a list of words like this one, right? Dishonest. Instead of saying, I am not honest, it's better if you say, I am dishonest, right? So that's more formal than not honest, and so on, right? And punctuation marks. and many other details, exaggeration and things like that. Okay, so there are rules so that your writing is going to be more formal. Now, only little by little, I'm going to give you those ideas. First, the most important part is that you understand punctuation, okay, the use of comma and period. Then little by little, I'm going to be asking you more things like different words, synonyms, and details so that your writing is even better. Okay, I wanted to show you that so that you see more or less what we're going to be doing on this process, but I want to know if you have questions about those things. And again, that's not part of this course, but that's something that you need to know starting now, and you're going to master that in the future. So what do you say, Karen?
Uh, I will take this 8:30.
Yeah, actually it depends. Look, because it depends on two things. I think Executive English divides the courses and the number of courses that you take according to the punctuation that you have to get or that you set that you want to get on the TOEFL. If the punctuation is not too high, I think they are only going to ask you to take certain courses. Okay, I don't know, until A10, A11, and then that's it. Then you go to the preparation course and you take the TOEFL, right? But if you want to get higher scores, you are supposed to take the advanced courses and everything because the course or the program is until A14. But again, it depends on the punctuation that you chose and it depends on the information that they gave you, okay? Not all students take everything until A14. So you can ask perhaps Ruth, all right? Try to ask her or anyone in management or administration so that what's the course or until what course you need to take the program. And that's it. Again, you can take that information or get that information from many places, but try to ask so that you're sure how much information you're going to see here. All right?
And you will be, no, you will be still my teacher?
I don't know. The only look, the only obligation that a teacher has is that one can be a maximum of 3 months with one course. Okay, so if we are together, Karen, it's only going to be perhaps A7, A8, and A9. Then you have to change. It's going to be a different teacher, but in the future, perhaps you're going to work with me one more time. Okay, but that's not something for sure. It depends how they divide the courses and how they assign the courses that we have. Okay, but the maximum that one teacher can be with one student or one course is 3 months. Okay, 3 consecutive months. After that month can be a different teacher, and then we can be together again.
Okay.
All right, good. But that's it. Again, we have some time, and I want to use that time also to practice once again. Look, and I'm going to give you two options now, Gavin. We have finished that one. That is the lesson that we needed to cover today. That is this, right? Ability. We finished. It's done. Now, we can do two things, and you're going to tell me what you want to do. First, we can go to the next lesson. That is going to be one more time reviewing simple past and present perfect and make a contrast between them, right? You already know the contrast, but as you can see, it's just these two slides, and we're going to write, we're going to speak, we're going to write. So do you want to review these tense, start now, or do you want to work with a different speaking practice that is part of if you remember these details, these pictures over here? So what do you want to do now? I'm going to give you the chance of choosing. These are the pictures, right, that we talk about sometimes. What do you say?
The pictures?
Okay, good. Let's work with this one. So we work with some details here, Karen. Which one do you want to work with? I think that we work with studying, and I think that we work with small town, right?
Okay.
Remember the small town, right? We work with those ones. So, sorry. Which one do you want to work with?
I don't remember if we do small town. I only remember study.
Okay, I think you need, if you remember this word, showcasing. right? Local art, no? Traditional festival, a flea market, hand market, no?
No.
Okay, good. Let's do it. Then it was with the other group. Let's work then with small town. This one, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's read the question, please.
What are the benefits of these events for a small town?
Good. So you have to choose at the end. We're going to read these benefits. And we're going to see which one, or these events, sorry. And we're going to see which one is going to give more benefits to a small town, right? Imagine that you live in a very small town and you need to generate more money, more income, right? You need to bring tourists, you need to bring people, you need to catch the attention of people from other small towns, from people in other cities. So let's read one by one, and you're going to tell me if that's a good event to give benefits to a small town. The first one is this one, Karen. Let's read that one, please.
A farmer's market.
Good. So what do you say? Is a farmer's market a good event for a small town? It brings a lot of benefits, or what do you say?
Farmer is refer to animals, like a cow, pig, like this.
Exactly. A farmer is the person, right? A farm is the place, and the farmer is the person. So yes, the farmer is the person that works with animals, that grows food, right? Crops, right? That's the type of person with cows, sheep, and again, it grows food. So what do you say? Is a farmer's market a good idea?
Oh, I don't know. I never been a farmer's market, and I think that I never see in TV. And I think that in a movie, but I don't remember much about.
Okay. And what do you say, for example, but even though you haven't been, right, to a plum farmer's market before, what do you think? Imagine that you go to, I don't know, tell me the name of a small town in your city.
San Lorenzo is, well, it's not a city, it's like a municipio.
Okay, it has to be small, right? A small town is always a population, let's say, actually there's no, I think it's a maximum of 1,000 or 2,000 people maximum.
I think that Tarija is a small town comparing to Cochabamba or Santa Cruz.
All right. Could be, but I don't think, right? It's a city, right? There's a lot of people living in Tarija. But if you imagine, right, let's say San Lorenzo or any of those places, right, in which is very small, even smaller than Tarija, as you're saying, all right? But if you go there and then you are a tourist and you find a person with a stand, right? And in that stand, you see, well, actually, a lot of stands with a lot of people there selling their products, right? Their food, and they are sometimes with the pigs over there or with the sheep, and they are selling that. All right. So, what do you think? Do you think that's something that helps the economy in the town? Do you think that's something that is going to help selling products like food, local production? So, in that sense, is that a good thing? Does it have benefits for the town or not? What do you say?
Yes, 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 because if if I am a tourist, I would like to see this market because I never see see one, so I would like to go.
Very good, great. And also sometimes it's different, right? The food. If it's local food, local production, is going to be something different. Sometimes the taste, sometimes many things are different, right? So good, yes. Perhaps it's not the best event, but it's a good event for a small town, right? Farmers market. What about the second one? It's a little bit different. What do you say? Read that one, please, Gabby.
A second-hand market. or flea market?
And this one is only going to be like flea, like E,
Flea.
flea. Good. So what do you say? You understand, right? Flea market is a second-hand market, right? Used objects. They are not new. Okay, used objects, used products, or many things in general, right? A lot of things. You can find whatever you want in a flea market, in a second-hand market. So what do you say? How beneficial is this for a small town?
What's the meaning of flea?
Flea is the name of an insect, actually. All right. You can find
Like
this,
chiquitito, the
the ones that jump. Okay,
uh,
they jump a lot.
normally dogs and cats have.
Correct.
Ah,
Exactly. Right? If you find a dog that is very dirty, you will usually call that dog, right? A dog that has fleas, right? So yes, it's that one.
okay. Eh, yes, I think that is a good idea because normally the second hand, the things that are second hands in Bolivia,
Mhm.
France for United States, and there are things that I think that sometimes we never see. For example, I like to go in Cochabamba to ropero americano. I don't know how to say this in English.
Good. Actually, there's no translation, but if you want to say that one is going to be American closet, but I don't think that you can. I think they only call it like the American market also, the American market. But yes, it's going to be closet or market, but I believe it's market translation to that one. Okay, so
Yeah.
you go there to buy your stuff. What do you buy there?
Yes,
Clothes, objects?
I like to see many things like sometimes clothes, then sometimes small stuffs or things that I always see in the movies or commercials. No, how can I say comerciales de televisión?
Ads, the ads or the advertisements.
Yes, or in the media, social media like Instagram. So there are things that in Bolivia we don't have, but we can find it in the in this type of market.
Good. Yes, that's correct. Right? There are many things that we can find in this type of market that we don't usually find in the common market that we can go to. Right? Good. So it seems to be a good idea. Right? And again, sometimes this can be interesting objects or things that we can buy. So that's the second event. The third one is this one over here, Karen. And it was very good. Only one observation, all right? One that you said in two times you used one article, but then you use plural. For example, in a movies, right? Only in movies, right? If
Um,
you say movies with S, it's going to be in movies, or if it's singular, it's going to be in a movie. Okay, the only thing, everything else was very good. This one. Let's read this one, please, and tell me if it's a good idea or not and why.
for me, I think that is one of the best ideas. I like taste the food. Uh, how can I say gustoso?
Tasty, tasty.
Okay, I am a tasty person, so I think that is a best idea.
Okay, good, good. So, yes, right. A lot of people go to many places because of the food, right? To taste flavors, right? Different flavors, different textures, different even smellings, right? So, good, great. So, perhaps this is the best idea for you so far, right? A
Mhm.
traditional food festival. What about this one? This is a little bit different. Read that
Uh,
one first, please.
a temporary art gallery showcasing local art.
Good. This word is going to be a, so it's going to be casing, showcasing.
Showcasing.
Good. All right. Showcasing means exponiendo. All right. That's the meaning directly. I'm not going to explain that one. It means that there is local art that is being shown in that temporary art gallery. So what do you say? Is this a good idea? Not that good?
Yes, it's an interesting idea because it's, no, normally uh, people of a small town do things with wood or stone, and these things are very nice and interesting.
Correct, right? There are many artists around the world. Of course, the small towns are also with artists, and it's interesting to take a look at those details. And many times, because of that material, right, that they use, can be only wood, stone, as you were saying, and can be interesting, right? Handmade, right? Handmade, like amateur, right? Made at home, because it looks like that, but it can be good. So that's the one. Now, the last one is weird. I think the last one doesn't apply to a country like Bolivia. Okay, this
Yes.
works, for example, in the United States, right? In the United States, you go to small towns, and they love cars. Okay, they love cars, and they have a lot of these car shows. But what do you think? Tell me your opinion, please. What do you think about a classic car show?
Uh, these suggestions for a town, for a small town in Bolivia, I think that I think that it's not a good idea. Maybe in a city, but in a small town, no.
And why? Try to explain why, please, because I get it and I agree with you. But why? Why do you think that a classic car show wouldn't work in a small town?
Because people in Bolivia don't have, how can I say esto en español? This, ay, no sé ni cómo decirlo en español. Tienen, eh, a ver,
Or you,
¿cómo?
you can, yeah,
O
tell me.
sea, es como cultura, sí. People in Bolivia don't have this type of culture about a classic cars. So I think that many people are not interested in this type of show.
Good, very good. Yes, I agree with you, right? It's a different culture, right? They don't appreciate that much cars, right? Here is going to be more related to food, as you were saying, right? Food is going to be the main thing here, right?
Yes.
Perhaps also in the United States, but in the United States, there is a connection and attachment, right? And a vision for cars, right? So yes, I agree with you. So finally, to finish, everything was very good. Just remember those words. I repeated those words, but it's going to be that "u" in cool. It's going to be more like right, like culture, right? Culture, and I think that's it. Yes, the other one was good. So from these five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, give me please only two numbers. What is number one, the most important? And actually only four. Let's not take this into account, all right? Because we know that it doesn't work. From these four, tell me which one is the most important, number one, and which one is the least important, number four. What do you say?
For me, the number one is a traditional food festival. And the least important, maybe a second-hand market.
Okay, very good. Great. Only one thing over there, one more time. How do you say el menos importante?
Less important.
Ah, close. Less, we learned that one, right? Less, but that is L-E-S-S, but that's menos in comparative. If you want to say el menos, that's superlative, you need to say the least. Okay, it's L-E-A-S-T. Okay, the least. All right, just in case it's in the chat as well. And the pronunciation is going to be with E instead of A. Okay, so that one good. So the most important for you, number one, traditional food festival, and the least important is going to be a second-hand market. So that's it. I have no more observations. I think it was good. I don't know if you have any questions to finish now, Karen. Let me know, please.
No.
All right, very good. So to finish, I'm going to ask you, please, as always, to fill out the survey. Remember that tomorrow we're going to have the conversation, so I'll see you directly on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy your holiday, and I'll see you Wednesday, guys.
You too. See you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.